just to meet you guys and to present you pyramid analytics. I brought some business cards, so those of you who find it interesting and want to ask questions, so feel free. I will put them over here. Okay. So, for those of you that are coming from the BI world, who knows, SQL, SSIS, and MDX to write MDX? I'm not. Okay, so we have 4 guys. Okay. Very good. Okay, so I will start with a little background about ourselves. Let's see that everything is working. Okay, so the agenda will be, according to what I wrote here, is I'm going to speak a little bit about ourselves, the company where we came from, what is our vision. Then I will switch to a live demo, so I can present you the product. And then we will leave some time for questions. And I think we will finish around 7 o'clock. Okay? So, let's start. So again, my name is Niv Feldman. I'm a regional sales manager. I'm not a technical guy. I have some skills, but I don't know how to write MDX. What I'm going to show you in this demonstration, in the live demo, is how Pyramid tried to make the BI world simpler than all the other tools that you know. And for that, I will show you the demonstration in a few minutes. But first of all, let's start with our company. We were founded in 2009 at United States. I'm actually from Israel, but my friends some of them are coming from the States. 3 guys had a company, did the BI implementation in the States for insurance companies. They did it on ProClarity, and you know the story. For those of you, ProClarity was bought by Microsoft, and like 2 years later, end of life, and all the ProClarity partners and customers are looking for a replacer. So these guys started to look for all kinds of solutions running in the market, Excel, Cognos, Business Object, ClickView, all these tools, and didn't find anything comparing to what ProClarity gave. So they decided to develop their own solution. So that was 2009. First customers are from the States. That was back then, 3 people. Now we are around 120 people working globally. We have an office in Seattle, and in New York, in London, in France, in Netherlands, and the development is done in Israel. So we are located mainly around the world. Very important, Sequoia Capital Venture invested in us a year ago. They are one of the big 3 capital ventures companies. For those of you that use WhatsApp, so they just sold WhatsApp to Facebook and did some amount of money. So we hope one day they will sell us to someone and we will make some money. So they are part of our management board right now. So achievement. We are a young company in this BI world. We started to market ourselves, I think, a year ago. We just managed to enter the Gartner survey, like I think in the last minute. And the Bug survey, we started a little bit earlier, so the result was better. But hopefully this year we are going to move up on their reports. We decided to do it 2 months before they closed the survey, so the analyst of Gartner couldn't know us because we are the new guys in the BI market. This year we did a better job, so I think that it will become also clearer into the report. So this is basically us. We have around 500 customers worldwide. So that was the story. Now let's focus on what we do. So before I present, I'll show you what we think is the BI market these days. So you're all familiar with all these logos, very experienced solutions. They exist for a long time. SAP, MicroStrategy, Oracle. If we summarize what they do everything. Their prices are very high, it's very difficult to implement them, and the IT guys like them, but the end users hate the interface. That's the reason that these guys came into the market. They came with some very intuitive, easy look and feel, and started to penetrate into organizations through departments. And basically, that's what they do best. They provide a small solution for departments. They have some difficulties to move towards enterprise solution. So they are a little bit stuck over there. What we decided is that we want to blend these two worlds. We want to come with a very nice front-end solution so the business users will like us, and at the back end, we want to be an enterprise solution that really organization can install our solution and spread it all over the organization for a few 100,000 users, analyzing a lot of data. So we put ourselves right in the middle. And we want to be a solution that IT guys likes and also the business users. So a combination of both of them. It's challenging, but I think we found the right formula. So the idea was like that. First of all, to come with a solution which is a self-service. Something that business users can, do some things by their own. The idea was to take the advanced analytics, the things that are very hard to do, that usually only people that know how to write NDX knows how to write the code, and make them simple. How we make them simple? We make them simple by creating all kinds of wizards that write the MDX for you. That means that we try to make the PR world a simple world also for business users. The third thing is we wanted that our solution will run through the web. Web, it doesn't mean SaaS, doesn't mean cloud. It means that the organization can install the server in one location and open, links for the entire organization. It can be spread over countries, over locations. Doesn't need to go machine by machine and install the desktop. Everything is running through the web. You can also take it and put it also in the cloud. But that was the idea, that the front end will run through a browser. That means that we are running today through Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari for Macs. So we're working also through a Mac. You don't need to anything special for that. And we are also supporting all these nice devices, tablets, smartphones, supporting iOS, Android, and Windows Mobile. So, and everything is responsive. So the idea is that you create once the reports and the dashboard, and you can connect to them from any device. So easy to use, I already said. Enterprise ready, very important. We are providing a solution that is based on standards of enterprises regarding security. So our solution is based on Active Directory, authentication. It can run it can analyze big amounts of data, and we are doing it by ability that we provide you an ability to install Pyramid on many servers, so it scales. I have a nice slide just to show you. See, I'm skipping most of the, sorry. Yep, so this is the one. So actually you can install Pyramid on one server, but you can install it also on many servers. So we have a publication server. This is for the publishing tool. I will show you that in a moment. Application server. We have our own router that can help you in terms of scalability, failovers, things like that, and you have the web server. Each element in the pyramid you can install, you can duplicate many times. That means that you can provide a solution for many users. So this is basically our architecture, and I think we will go here. So the idea, I'll come back to the idea. So running through the web, we thought how we can make something that people are already familiar with. So we took the idea of Office and we called our product BI Office. And you will find in my presentation three features. The green one, we call it Bio Excel. It's like Excel. This is our data discovery tool where we create all the nice reports. The second one, called BioPoint, remind you something? PowerPoint. So this is our dashboarding tool, and the idea is that you create dashboard like you create PowerPoint reports, PowerPoint presentations. So in a moment you'll see how. And the third one came last year, and this is our Word application. We call it BioWriter, and this is the publisher and alerting tool. So think about this, the first two are the user need to put the username and password and go into the system. This one, the reports are chasing them. So they will get the reports by PDF or email, Word, automatically by rules that we will put in the system. So these both three elements are coming in one package. We call it BioOffice. So this is basically the application. 2 slides and then I will move to the demo. We have a tool which we call Meshpit. Today, in order to create all-up cubes or tabular cubes, you need to do it through Visual Studio. All-up cubes, tabular cubes you can create through Power Pivot, or you can through Power Pivot or Visual Studio. And we did something which we call Meshpit. It's a wizard that helps you to create very quickly tabular models in a few clicks. So even someone like me that doesn't know MDX or DAX or Visual Studio to write code can do something very easily. And we have already connectors for these guys, and we are adding more and more since through the time. The last slide is the administration tool, which is also web interface. So all the interfaces of our applications are run through the web. That means that you can install it on site, you can install it also on the cloud. Doesn't matter for us. Okay? Now, that was my PowerPoint. Now let's switch to the product. You probably see the sea. This is Greece. One moment. Okay, so this is pyramid. You see it in Polish because we translated, but it actually comes in other languages as well. So we have it in around 12 in English, Arabic, Dutch, Spanish, Francais, German, I think also, and also Polish, which I think is the most important for you. We designed the application, as you can see, it runs through the browser, so it looks and feels like an Office. So like in Office that you can see your recent documents, here you can see the recent documents as well. So the red one is the dashboard, the BioPoint, so you can see the dashboard that I created, in a moment you will see it. The green one is the BioExcel, and the blue one is the BioWriter. Let me show you how can I create some reports. So basically we are connecting to all-up cubes and tabular cubes. We are supporting these both technologies. The blue one is tabular and the brown one is the all-up cube. So let's start with something very simple. Let's create some reports. Let's create for the first one. What you see here in a moment, this is how we design the reports. So you can see that the look and feel really feels like Office application. If I make it full screen, you will not see the difference between desktop application and web application. The BioExcel is designed in ribbons like in Office applications. So for example, the first ribbon is for the design, so you can make all kinds of nice themes and use them. You can decide that you want the report, for example, to show 3 elements. So here I'll pick grid, here I'll pick a chart, Then here I'll pick a map. So we are supporting also geospatial analytics. When I'm choosing map, I have also the option to play with the configuration. All the reports that we create are dynamic. That means that if I click on Australia, who was in Australia? No one, me too. Okay, so let's visit Australia. Click on Australia. You see that everything is focused on Australia. Let's say that we want to analyze 2008. I click on 2008. So everything is changed. I can drill up on Australia and go to visit United States. Drill down. And you see that by clicking on the map also it's reflects the other elements. So I can click to one of this area and you see that when you reach for the lowest level it's actually open Bing map and I can see, for example, here it's a rental cube, so I can see my customer located buying through different quarters. With one click, I can do a change, I can dice it and understand the product they bought. So I do a dice and see that now it changed to, if I make it, sorry, if I, and to be quick enough. So you can see that now I have the product, bikes and accessories, and very good. So this is a combination of that. Just wanted to show you that everything is interactive. The maps, the grids, the charts, everything can be done as you can see. Let's create another report and I'll show you some more elements. If there is something that you are really interested to see, just offer me, or I'll do my standard demonstration. So let's start with something simple. Let's say that, let's put the grid here and the chart here. Let's say that I want to see two measures in the grid. So I can click on the measure and, for example, here I'll choose sales and profit. So I flag them both and you see that automatically when I choose two, it creates a slicer for me. I don't need to create a slicer like in other tools, it's automatically. So sales profit. If I want to change the slicer, again, I don't need to write the code. Right click on the slicer and now I have more options. So I can decide that I want it to be like that. So now I have buttons. Okay, very simple. I want to see the measures into the grid, I just drag them into and now they are inside. So now let's focus on the grid. I think this is the grid. So the grid is the look and feel, and the way that you work with the pyramid is like in Office. So for example, you can make it bigger, smaller, you can play with, you can align fields. You don't need to call to IT to change your report. If the IT gave you these permissions, you can play with the grid like you're working in Excel or Word. Let's do something else. Let's put some visualization, so conditional formatting. So let's do something complicated. Let's put over sales this option and let's make it hierarchy. Let's remove United States because change the number. And let's put something on profit, something that will run over profit, and let's choose percentage. By the way, you saw that I have all kinds of options. So for example, if I choose something else, I can change the colors. If I choose something like that, I can play with how it looks. Everything is very self-service. So just remember what I saw. Let's put it here and choose red, and the grid looks fine. Okay, nice design of the grid. Now let's work a little bit with the chart. The chart is very colorful, but a little bit problematic, too many colors. So I'll do something like that. First of all, we have many types of charts, don't worry. I will do something more complicated. Instead of showing one chart, I will divide the chart by columns. So on the columns I have here 2008, 2009, 2010. So I will do the same I just try to do it in click view. It's a week of work. See how easy it was done. Now let's design a little bit. So let's go to profit, and I want to, instead of bars, I want to see lines. Right click on profit, on the legend, and I can say, okay, I want to see it like that. I want that the color will be red, and I want to put it in a secondary. So the second one. So now I design it like this. So what will happen now? If I click on 2010, you see it's drillable. If I click on Q4 2010, again, until I reach the lowest level. So that was design plain. Now I'll show you something that, for those of you that knows how to write MDX, it's complicated, but I probably know how to do that, but I'll show you how I can do that without writing the code. So let's say that the challenge is that on December 2010, I want to move the profit, but I want to move it only from December 2010. And I don't want to write an MDX. So in Pyramid, you just right click, something like that. Now let's go to October, and from there I will move the sales again. So I did something by clicks, but it's actually wrote the MDX for me. That was the idea. So now if I do a dice on this report, so instead of customers by regions, I want to see products. So let's do something like that. Right click and dice, and choose here products. See, it still kept the way that I dealt with the grid. So that moves me to the query ribbon, where I can return back all the things that I removed by click. Okay. Refresh. And I can show you the MDX editor. Okay, so you have an MDX, don't worry. For those of you that like to write code, we put you an MDX, everything, drag and drop, you have all the hierarchies, the measures, the functions, you can actually have everything here. But we don't want you to use them. We want you to use what we provide. So this is the MDX, don't touch it. Unless
we like it.
Okay, unless you need it. And now I'll show you something that, again, people that write MDX will admire. So, the challenge now. I want to compare between 2 months. In the columns I have month, I have the time hierarchy. Okay. In the rows I have customers, and I want to compare 2 months. So what is the option right with writing an MDX? You need to add another hierarchy in order to do that. So we thought it's not good enough. So we invented something we call parameters. And what is parameter? Parameter is the ability to put some spaces into the MDX query and to be able to change it without write the MDX again. So how to do that? Very simple. You click on the month hierarchy, right click here, and I choose new parameter. The first parameter I will call him month number 1. Okay, so here it is. Month number 1. So I have the first parameter. If I click on the parameter, you see a slicer here. I click on April. You see I didn't touch here. Now I want another month. So what I will do, I will duplicate. I think this is the duplicate now. Duplicate month number 2. And let's put here. So now I have 2 months. Month number 1 and month number 2. And now I can play with it. Put here April and here put July. Quickly. Now I want to put a formula. I want to see the ratio between them or something else. So I just need to flag both of them and do right click. elements, here you have functions, and now I don't understand what it's written, so help me. This one?
Gross.
This is gross, let's read gross. Okay, gross, let's call it. And now you see that I have two options, private or public. Private means that only me can see that. Public means that I can share this calculation with my organization. That means that you can create all kinds of custom calculations and share it without need to change the cube or something like that. And something else that is important, it's not only for this report, it's for the dimension. That means that you can use this calculation on any report that you create. So, I just did what I did, and now I can choose which roles I want to share it with. So, for example, let's leave it like that. And now I'm supposed to have the calculation I just created. So, here is the calculation. Click the icon, and here it is. And now I can play with it. Show you something more. Let's create a range out of it. So let's take month 1, it will be the beginning, month 2 will be the end, and I want to see all the progress. Okay? So I don't need to write it again, I just click on month number 1, month number 2, right click. Now I need your help, I think. Here, I think this is the one. This is a range. So let's call it range. Again, private, public. By the way, if you want to see the MDX, this is the MDX. But we hide it. Okay, again, I like the public, and now I have range PLS and click. So now if I choose, I did it. Okay, so let's choose January, and it's not working. Why? Well, because of my Polish. But it's actually supposed to work. Let's do another one. Probably did something wrong, but doesn't matter. It's supposed to work. Okay? You need to believe it. So, next example. Dynamic set. How can I create a very, very big query which will be dynamic without, again, understanding how to write MDX? Think about an organization, let's say 100 people, one BI guy that needs to support everyone, and you have 99 users that's demanding. So the idea with the dynamic set is that provide you again an interface to do it very quickly. So I'll do something like that. The example will be, I have here around 1 million customers in my queue. I will create a set that will bring me the top 20% customers according to sales volume. And then I will cut it again, and I will take the top 10 out of them on terms of profit. Okay? And I will do it in 1 minute. So, again, time is important. So, click on the lowest level of the customer. If I click here, I will get a lot of customers I don't want to do it. So, let's create here, let's pick, and here again, I need your help. This is top count, I'm sure. Yeah. So I need the one, this is the top percent. So just to show that I'm not practicing on the 20, I will choose here 22%. Okay. And we saw its sales volume. This is, and now if I click, that will be the result. That will be the 22%. And I want to cut it again, and I want to take the top 10 according to profit. So again, and now I'll choose top count. Here I write 10. Here I look for the profit. And by the way, you see that I have all the hierarchies here, and all the, so I can actually do something more complicated than what I just do. This is just a simple thing. If I click here, I'm supposed to get 10. and now I'm supposed to get 11. Okay, so again, let's call it VIP customers for my home. Private, public, I want to share it, yes, again. And now, if I go down, I have VIP customer for my home. If I click here, that's the solution. You want to see the MDX I just wrote? Right click, edit. This is the MDX. So think about 10 people knows MDX. Each one will write it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Here you can do a standard. You train them to use this tool, and everyone will get the same result. So this is the MDX, again, just to show you. But I can do very nice things over here. I can do something like that. I can take the VIP customers and put them in the slicer, and I can put the product in the rows. So now I have something like that. So I want to understand the product that one of the top VIP customers bought. So Alicia, and this is Luis, and you see that I can play with the set like a Lego. Okay, that is the idea. To do all the complicated stuff, the things that takes time, very, very easy. So you have more patience for one more example? Okay. So let's do another example. KPIs. Everybody wants KPI now. KPI is important. So let's create a KPI very quickly with the pyramid. So here you see that I have more wizards. So I have set design, not set design, custom member, custom measure, ability to create custom member, custom measures, and an interface, nice interface, KPI, and allocations. So I can do all kinds of what-if analysis and play with it. I'll choose the KPI. Like it. Nice. So the KPI will be a KPI for sales. I want to compare between this period to previous one. Very simple one. Okay, so I choose a point, a data point. The data point that I choose is sales. Now, the previous time, that was the action. Now, previous time, again, I will choose sales, but I will drill down to the time hierarchy. Here it is. And here I'll choose a function, and I think this is the one. Previous member?
Before, yeah.
Previous member. So now I have the sales results for previous member, and now I design the KPI. So I choose the way the KPI is in the grid. So let's choose something like that. I choose the gauge, and sorry for the translation if it's not quite right. I'm not sure what I chose. And I think this is ratio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the KPI, the way design, the green on the left or the right. Let's put some values here. I never did it in Polish, but hopefully the is right. And let's call it sales KPI PFC and private public. Again, you see it's repeating itself. Okay, boom. And now I'm supposed to have a KPI. If I go here, here is the KPI. Click on the KPI and let's design it a little bit. So let's do something like that. Grid here, gauge here, and something like that. And click KPI. You don't like this KPI, I can change it. Right click on the KPI, again into the designer, and I can pick just for the thermaliner. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, so the idea is make it simple. I repeat, and this is a web application. It's not a desktop like some of the tools are providing. It's not Excel that is installed on your machine. It's running through a browser. Think about organization, a bank, insurance company, retail. A tool installed on the data center of the organization. The users are working from abroad, and they have this ability to do all kind of complicated stuff. By the way, nothing is installed on their machine. Everything is in the server and a repository that you can back up, so nothing is going to be lost. So this is the Bio Excel. You can do a lot of nice things. I didn't show you everything, but I'll keep something for next time. So you will invite me. So that was the green one. Remember the green one? So now let's go to design a dashboard. So I will pick my theme. Let's choose this one. And like in PowerPoint, you can say how many slides do you have. Every slide is a page. And you can design them. So for example, I can do something like that. I can say that first page will be something like that. See? I just drag them and everything is connected. It's multi-stretch. So if people work in different resolutions, we try that they will not have drill down, so all kind of So this is the first page. I don't need to create a report again. Now I'm going to my Bio Excel report that I just created, and I'm using them. So for example, I'll do something like that. I'll put here a multi-chart. Here I'll put a KPI. Here I use a grid. Let's see what I have. Okay, let's do the grid. This is not the most nice dashboard I created, but because of the hour, you will forgive me. You know what? Let's put also the map. Okay, and let's just put legend on. So this is the first page. Second page, I'm a little bit lazy, so I will take a report and drag it, all of it, into the page. And for the third page, I will choose, let's say, just an element. Okay, so I have 3 pages. One is a complicated one because I drag elements from 4 different reports. They can come from 4 different cubes. One can come from tabular, one can come from Ola, all on the same page. And now I'll do some magic that we wrote a patent on it, and it's called interactions. And I will glue them all together. And I will do that by dragging lines. So I can say, click here, click on the grid, and reflect these elements. This is a row interaction. That means that if I click on bytes, it will push bytes into, it will slice all the other reports by bytes. And I can do it also the other way. So I can do something like that. And I can do something like that. If it doesn't allow me, there is an alert. You cannot do that. Here, I'm doing a different type of interaction. This is called sync. That means that if I drill down here, all the report will be drilled down. So this is the first page. Second page, the reports, the option, the 2 parts come from the same report, so it's already connected, and this is only one element. Let's put at least one slicer. So I'll make a global slicer that will repeat itself over the pages. So if I choose one, and I will move to the other page, I'll get the same slice. So let's create very quickly a slicer. Let's do it on promotion. Promotion. Let's take the slider from here. Boom. Okay. Let's take promotions and let's do promotion category, etc. This is the right one? This is yes?
Finish. Yeah.
Okay. So now I have a slicer. You already saw that I like buttons, so I'll change the buttons. Okay, and now I have the slicer on all the pages. By the way, you can do local slicer and you can put also global slicer. And for slicers as well, we put the option of interaction. So I can say interact with this one and this one and this one, but leave the table, don't touch the table. And here I can do the same. And here again. So the dashboard is ready. If I click it on it, so this is the dashboard. I didn't design it, I didn't put logos, etc. So now I click on bytes, and you see that all the reports are now sliced by bytes. If I click on components, again, interaction, everything is components. If I click on no discount, you see that here it shows customer and no discount. If I move to another page, again, it's that. If I click on here, it will reflect here. If I move to this page, again. So I created the dashboard very quickly. It took me a few minutes. I save it. After I save it, I didn't put the logo, so correct. A dashboard without the logo is not a dashboard. So let's put the logo. So here I will take from my asset. I have all kinds of logos here. So let me take one of them and put this one. I can play with it. Okay, save it. Hold on. And let's make it. That's it. And now the logo is inside. So it's not the best dashboard I designed in my life, but it's something. Okay. I think it's one of the quickest ones. So that was the red one, which we call it BioPoint. Now let's move to the third one, the last and only, the BioWriter. So in the BioWriter you have two options. One is publishing. It's creating a very nice reports and ability to push them. And the second one is alerts. So I will start with this one. So think about, you have a lot of dashboard, a lot of report. You want to send to your management or to your customer something that is personalized every day, looks very nice, a sort of financial statement, a sales reporting. So you go to the BioWriter, you choose one of the options here, one of the design, you can create your own. And now, like in a Word application, you can, I'm going to write something below your sales for the year was. I wrote a sentence, and now I will take something from the data. So I'm choosing dynamic text, click on text, again, I'm picking the right report that I want to use. Let's take this one, let's take this one, and let's say that I want to take this entire column. I can pick one, I can pick all. So I don't know what I did, I picked the label. Okay, this is the right one. Okay, and save. So now I add it into using the sentence and the dynamic text, and now I can drag some reports that's just for the idea. And let's put the KPIs. And under the KPI, say sales graph, sales chart. And here I will put something else. I'll take the multi-chart and put it here, here. So I can put a lot of elements. You can put a lot of elements from different reports. It's not like in reporting services that you are obligated to use only one data source. You have more options. You can create a very, very, very big report. The last thing I will do is a slicer. So think about, you have the sales report and you want to send sales report for each salesperson in your organization, but you want each one to see only his data. So how you do that? You put a slicer. So I will pick a slicer. again, I don't know what I'm thinking, but you know, according to let's call it salesperson. Okay, boom, and now in a moment you will see it here, salesperson. Okay, and now I put a slicer, and now I can decide. Okay, let's say that the multi-chart I want to slice. The gauge I will keep it like that, not sliced, and the third element I will slice according to the salesperson. So you see that the elements are combined. This is the right one, or this is the right one? This is. Yeah, I choose. I choose the right one.
Yes.
Okay. Because without that it won't work. Okay. And now I will save it. Basically, I didn't show you. This is the way that you save a report dashboard by Excel. We created 3 levels. One we called public, the second one called group, and the third one called personal. The different type of users can keep and save reports on each one of these ones. So, for example, a professional type of user can save reports to every level, but basically he can put them for public, so the organization can use the data. Analyst, this is the second type of user that we have, can keep only on group or personal line. He cannot publish for the organization. You need the IT in order to do that. And all the other users can keep only for personal. So they can play with the reports and keep them for themselves. So I'll just keep it in my personal line folder. Okay, I save it. So now let's go to the recent, and let's use the engine. And this is the engine. And now we will ask me in which format do you want to use. And we are adding also PowerPoint, but let's choose PDF. Now use the slicer. Let's do a multi. So I say, which one is the all selection?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one? Okay. Let's put the timer so I can be once. It can run every day, every hour, every month, every day of the last of the month. So we have all the options here. You can put triggers, actions. So for example, create a report every hour, but send it only if something happened, if the data refreshed, if the data is, if the sales percentage go up above 10%, etc. Now you have option to put it in the pyramid. You can publish it through an API into a portal, or you can send it by email as attachment or as a link. So we give you both options. Let's keep it simple. Let's see that I did it once, etc. And now let's save it. And what will happen now, if I did it correctly, is creating the reports and sending them. So you can see that the reports are in the process. I'm not sure that I pressed the right one. This is
restart.
Run again.
This is restart, no?
That's the refresh.
Okay, I'll do a refresh. So these reports are already ready. So let's open it. And I did good formatting on the numbers. As you can see, this is a very simple report. We can do something complicated, but just for the practice, just for showing you a very simple one that we created. If you look at the second one, you will see that the numbers are different because of that. Another thing that we did is we designed it to be pixel free. So that means if I find it, where is it? Okay. You see that even if I'm working on a very, very high resolution, I don't see here the pixels. That means that organizations can actually print this report. Very high formatting. Okay. So So this is an example of report that I just created. I can show you in a moment. Still doesn't have the option. So that's basically an overview over the three different elements from the pyramid: the green, the blue, and the red. I'm confused. The blue. Okay, so I didn't cover everything, but just for you to understand, to see how everything is combined together. Maybe show you one thing. Let's take this visual. So remember I told you it's one application. Everything is combined. And what is the meaning of that? It means that if you want to analyze this report, and I give you the permission, you can do right click and move from the dashboard, the red one, to the bio Excel, do something, okay, and return back to the bio Excel, the bio one, because it's one. It's not SharePoint, Excel services, reporting services. One. 2-hour installation. You just need to have cubes or tabular, and we connect automatically for them, and very easily we can start to work. That's basically a real quick overview. My computer is a little bit stubborn, so it's time for questions. I will do Control and Delete. And see what it's the iTunes. It's open. I try to close it. So guys, questions.
How long do you for how long do you create this product? How many years did you create?
So, as I told you, the company founded in 2009. The product was released. First we went out with the green one.
Yeah.
So if you saw Pyramid 4 years ago, you saw only the green one. Then after 2 years we added the red one, and last year we added the blue one. And for next year we are going to add them a brother. We are not sure if it's going to be another color or it's going to be combined, but it's actually predictive analytics. We are going to integrate R into the Bio Excel, so you can do a mixture of existing data running from a cube with an R integration, so you will have predictive analytics inside of them. So it will be automatically, it will be inside. So the idea will be to do data mining for the masses, and not, again, writing code. The people that will write the R can integrate it into the pyramid, so you'll have it within inside. So this is part of the things that we're adding. We're adding more stuff, like social elements. So we want to combine it. We already combine it, but we are going to release it in version 6. All kinds of social elements with the SharePoint. We think that SharePoint is actually what organizations are using in order to share data. SharePoint, Yammer, Trying, there are Jive, these kind of tools which are enterprise social applications. So we are integrating into them, so you can do actually like conversation on reports. You can put flags in the report, you can discuss the report, so you very, very nice things. But I think that these 3 elements are the focus or the main part of the application. We are just creating more and more stuff.
Yeah.
For example, I will show you now. I showed you version 5.3. In 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we are going to release version number 5.4. Yeah, 5.4. What I saw, and you are almost the first ones in the world to see that. So this is 5.4. those of you that see that we had some more wizards. One of the wizards that I saw that we had is cascading prompts. So you saw slices, but now we built a wizard to do, you can do it today, but it's a little bit complicated. A slicer that is dependent on the other slicer. So how much time it takes to create such a thing in MDX? It's not complicated. It's so if I touch this wizard, see what will happen. I have single hierarchy or multi hierarchy. The multi is something new. Let's call it cas. And now I want to do the cascading on the customer, so I can say, okay, country, states, and show me the customer. You know what? Zip. I'm finish. And now I have the cascading here. Okay, so it did it for me. So I click on Canada. I don't tell you Canada, so let's take United States. United States, California. So again, the idea is to make it very, very simple. Okay. Just want to show you mobile. Yeah. Okay. So in order to do that, let's create a quick report and I'll show you what I mean responsive. So let's create a very quick report. Let's do the first example that I did in the beginning. So I'll take here grid, chart, map. Boom, boom. Pivot. Let's take the map and shape. Okay. A simple one. Let's just save it. And I will save it into my personalized and I'll call it okay, so I save it. So now I created this report and I save it, and now let's go to my mobile device. And for that, this is something I stole from my partner. I brought it to one of the presentations, so I really liked it. Okay, so this is my iPhone. You see, you don't need emulation or stuff like that. And let's click here. Let's hope that I'm connected. No, I'm not connected to the internet. One moment. One moment. Here. Let's open data roaming. Maybe 4G. And let's just make sure that my office is open here. You see that? Yes, it's open. So it should work. So by the way, if you want to download it, you can go to Google Store, Apple Store, and Microsoft. And one moment. These are news. Okay, this is the icon. I click on it. Log in. So for the devices, and I didn't brought the tablet with me because tablet. So let's pick. This is the report I just created and save it. Let's click on it. We'll see what will happen. You remember on my page it was like 3 elements combined. Here, I'm always joking that we designed it so you can drive and with one hand do analysis. Oh.
And drink coffee?
Yeah, and I was talking too much. So, okay. And why don't you see what I see? It's like frozen. maybe it's not working. Almost there, almost there. So probably it's not. I don't know. So I need to show you.
Maybe full screen up on iPhone.
Yeah, I don't know. It's working. Today it's
Yeah.
Thursday
It's too late
night. Thursday night, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's tired. So because there is no space to show all the elements, so what we did is we took every element and put it in a different page. So we just do that. And it's actually interactive. So if I click on United States, and I will do, well, I see they add more stuff. Drill down. Drill down. It's supposed to work. Version 5.4. Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
If I go to the second page, you see that it's also drilled here and also reflect here. Again, the dashboard working the same. You saw the lines that I was dragging.
Yeah.
So everything is working as well on that device. So you actually create it once and it's responsive, it works everywhere. On the tablet it looks like the desktop because you have oh. Listen,
Okay, you repeat please.
for the video. So I'm going to California. So I'm clicking on California and I'm doing drill down. Okay, and if I go here, you see the information. If I click on, for example, on 2010. And by the way, this is also in Polish, so you can choose the language and it will work for you.
And it's not on Wi-Fi.
Now it's Wi-Fi.
4G, so
Now it's 4G, yeah.
it's working.
Working quite well, yeah. Okay, so this is the mobile. Now let's close it, so it will not finish my roaming. So, questions?
Could you just show the security?
You see my computer? Okay. Here I'm in admin. Okay. So, administrator. So, the administrator also you have like a dashboard that shows you what is working. If you have many servers, you can see each server, CPU, how many users, how many reports are running. We are talking about the new terms that Gartner invented called governed data discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So governed discovery, everybody say they provide governed discovery, have data discovery, but governed, not really. And what I mean governed is that I am, as the IT guy, have control on each user. I can know what each user is doing. I can see which one I gave him permission to create models. Okay, not like in Excel or in a quick view that everyone can do everything what they want. I can control, I can see what they do. I can see also you saw the custom element that I created, the KPIs.
Yeah.
Even if someone did something for a specific group of people, the manager of the system can take it from a personal level and put it as a public, depending, of course, on the policy of the organization. But there is control. That's what very important. So in the administration, we have, you see also tabs. One of them is settings. In the settings, I'll show you just the important one. So we are supporting many Active Directories, so you can put a forest here. We provide you an option to put limits, so I don't want users to run query that will bring more than, so I can put here. And I can say what will happen if someone will run a report that will take the CPU, the memory for above 40%. So I can say create a satellite. It's like a service just for this report. So I can say how many services like that I want to run. So the user will run a service. It will not reflect the other users. He will close the report. The server will display. It's like an impossible mission. More important thing, logging. I will show you that in a moment. Visual, so you can decide which language, right to left. This is for me. Teams, etc. Network, who can upload, mobile, which mobile devices system I want to support, iOS, Android, WinRT, and we also have all kinds of ways of authentication, so not everyone put username and password and can go in. So you can put also an ID, like when you're registering to application, it sends you something, a number, then it works. Load balancing, very important. Maps and publishing. I don't want everyone to run reports all day. I want the reports to run only at night, so I can put restrictions here. Now regarding the users. We take the users from the Active Directory, so you can take user or group. You add it into the system. After that, we are creating roles, so each user can be connected to different roles, and then I can put in roles privileges on each one of the data sources. So I can say, so think about you have like maybe 4 OLAP cubes, 4 servers for OLAP cubes and 4 for tabular. So I can say this role, analyst, can work only on this server. So I can say this is for analysts or admins. And this one is for other groups, so I can play with it. Also for the data sources of the mesh pit, so I can create more data sources here. So you see here we have Azure on this data. Servers, you remember that I told you that you can install many servers. So I can add more server, web application or a router from here without taking the system down. And every type of users I can connect to a profile. A profile is my way to limit what the user has. So I can say this group of people cannot export to Excel and cannot do dice action, and you see, don't see the ribbon of query when they can design all kind of stuff. So you can actually play with it. You can also, you see here, decide how they will see the report. So for example, you remember this report that you can see the elements and the ribbons?
Yeah.
So for example, they can say, I don't want people to see that. I want to give them a very light workspace. So then when they will log into the report, that's what they will see. It's still interactive, but they don't see the ribbons or on the left side. So you have more control. So you can decide specific type of users, get simple report. So that's actually what you control from here. And you have a log. With the log, let's run transaction log. So these are all the transactions that was running on the last 2 hours. All were run by me. So the transaction logs shows you each report, each query, each process of the query. How many cells, duration, query, you can actually do a filter. So I want to see all the queries that took me more than. Yeah. And then I want to understand what was the MDX because the user complained. Governed. You don't need to go to his desktop, you can do it from here. So this is transaction log. And we have also audit log. This is very important for financial organization or organization with the restrictions. So you can see each user, the way of authentication. By the way, I didn't mention it. We are supporting authentication against the Active Directory 3 times. Windows, basic, and form authentication. And within form authentication, we are also supporting federated forms. So you can actually integrate Pyramid into another applications and process the additions from one to another. So Windows basic, very important. So So, and of course, system logs as well. What we also provide is a cube that analyzes the usage of the pyramid. And I don't have the rights, but you get another tab and you have the cube inside. So you can do actually, you want to understand which users, what report did they use, etc. So you can actually analyze it. So this is the administrator. I didn't mention also, if you have many servers, we are using Kerberos. We are relying on Kerberos. So, you know, the standards for enterprises.
Yeah.
Enterprises should like us and choose us as their solution. That's the idea. And I think that covers most of it. More questions? There's something I didn't show. So, thank you for hearing me, to coming here. You know what? Let's do a selfie. Let's come all together, make a picture. So I have presents from you guys.
Thank you for your session.
You're very tall, so I... Come here. People won't believe me. Cycle group. Hey! Another one. Hey! So now if someone asks you in the street, do you know pyramid analytics? At least you can say, yes, we saw something. Okay?